What's going on, everyone? My name's Jared and welcome to Ride Along Fishing. Today I want to talk about something pretty important, something I feel like I've really been slacking on. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to buy a rod and reel, how to set it up, and what to look for when you're buying those things. You know, when I started this channel, my whole goal was to make a fishing channel here on YouTube that's both for fishermen and non-fishermen alike. So if you've been watching here for a while, or maybe you've been checking out other videos on YouTube, and you've been wanting to get into fishing, this video is for you.
This looks like shit.
Alright, let's get serious for a minute. One of the first things that's going to happen to you when you go to buy your very first rod and reel is you're going to get a little overwhelmed. My best advice to you is you stay away from the separate rods, the separate reels, and you focus more on a combo. If you're unsure of where to start, try to spend as little money as possible. That way, you're less likely to be upset if fishing isn't something that's right for you. This is probably the best starting rod that I can ever recommend to anyone. It's a 5'6" composite rod, meaning it's fiberglass mostly with some other materials in here, so it's less likely to break and going to take more abuse. And it's a spinning reel with only one bearing, so it's not too smooth, it's not the cream of the crop, but you can pick this up for under $20 at just about any Walmart that you go to. But if you guys stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a chance to win this combo right here, all spooled up and ready to go. This reel right here is your very basic setup. One of the first things you're going to notice is the height of the rods. This isn't as important as you think it is when you're first starting out, and in fact, I recommend a rod about a full foot taller than this at 6'6", because it's going to be easier for you to really set that hook and get that fish tucked away on the end of your line. The medium action implies where this rod bends. You notice it bends right about in the middle, and the tip is a little flimsier on this particular rod. This rod is a two-piece. Much better when you're first starting out, much easier to transport. You won't need anything like a truck or an SUV in order to get to your favorite spot. And that's part of keeping fishing fun, because we're all in this to have fun, right? Kind of like what you would see on a fidget spinner. Bearings are the little things inside here that contain these little balls, and it helps smooth out all these moving parts. This is a composite fiberglass rod, so it's sensitive, but it's not as sensitive as you can get, but it's a lot more durable. That's what you want to be looking at. Right here on the rod is where you find all that information. 5'6", medium light action, two-piece rod, spinning rod, 6 to 10 pound line, and what you can throw for lure weight on it. And this is how you properly test a rod. You either do it like this. You know, I don't want to see you in the store doing this. That's one of the worst things you can do with a rod. And if you put any additional pressure, like if you start bending this with your thumb, you can actually damage your rods. But if you're just starting out for under $20, one of these will do you just fine. Another thing you're going to come across is something called an ultralight. These are super thin, usually fairly short rods with much smaller reels. You use these more for trout fishing or bluegill fishing or something like that. It's not a good all-around rod. This is more when you get into specialty types of fishing. So if you're just starting out, again, I would stay away from an ultralight rod. Right here is something that I think is the perfect for every angler, whether you're experienced, inexperienced or not. This is a 6'6", 24-ton graphite rod with a 10 bearing spinning reel. For you guys that are just starting out, spinning reels are the way to go. Stay away from the push button reels. Get yourself a spinning reel when you're just starting out.
Alright, man, tell us about the bait casters now.
Okay, bait casting reels. This is a totally different subject. When you're just starting out, this is not something you want to start out with. And I'm going to explain why right now. Alright guys, so I got 3 very different reels sitting right here. First one is my Cast King Royale Legend bait casting reel. My second is my Fluger President spinning reel. And my third reel, the one that I'm trying to give away to you guys, is this South Bend reel. The reason why I'm telling you guys start off with spinning reels is because they're much easier to use than a bait caster, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. With a spinning reel, as you guys can see, the handles can be flipped. So this would be for a lefty, this would be for a righty. To move your handle from one side to the other, you take this knob right here, loosen her up, pull this out right here, turn it around, put it back into the other side, and just put that right back in and tighten it right back up. A bait casting reel has to be bought either left-handed retrieve or it has to be a right-hand retrieve. Another important thing is how these cast. When you cast these, you flip this bail wire up. Your line coming out here, you grab your line like this so it's in between your finger, holding your rod and your reel, and you cast and just kind of let go. You kind of just point to let go of that line, and then when you reel in, your bail closes for you. When you cast a bait caster, you push down this button and that engages your spool. Your spool on a bait caster is free spinning, meaning this can go either forward or backwards when you engage that button. Same thing though, once you turn, your button pops back, you're ready to set your fish. Now, why that spool being free spinning is so tricky and why I do not recommend a first time fisherman picking up a bait caster is because when you cast, you throw your bait and you have to kind of lob it. You can't just chuck it like you can with a spinning reel. It's a lot less forgiving. You have to keep your thumb on the spool filled with line. When that line is coming out too fast or it hits the ground without you stopping the line, you get what's called the bird's nest.
I like birds.
And that's when all the line in here just kind of blows out, gets too loose, and it all just kind of unspools within the reel. And something like that will either frustrate you or possibly, in a worst case scenario, cause you to lose all interest in fishing that day. And that's the one thing that you guys really want to avoid. Bait casters come with brakes on them and different systems to prevent those backlashes, but that's something that you guys really shouldn't have to worry about when you're first starting fishing. What you should have to worry about is getting your line on, getting your tackle ready, going out, and having fun.
These things are so stupid. So we've pretty much covered just about everything that you guys are gonna need to know about going out and getting your first rod. When you go to the store, you're gonna think, oh, I'm gonna need line too. Your combo that you buy is probably gonna come with some line, but you're probably gonna wanna replace it because usually the line that it comes with is on the lesser side of quality. So the line that I recommend starting off with is 6-pound monofilament. This right here cost me about $2. As long as you're sticking to freshwater fishing, this is the only line that I'm going to recommend when you're a new fisherman starting out. As you get more and more into fishing, you're gonna hear people talk about braided line. This right here is 50-pound test braided line. This is about the same diameter as 12-pound test monofilament. I know a lot of folks switching over from mono to braid for their spinning reels, but things can get pretty complicated pretty quick. The big issue with braided line, a lot of anglers will argue, is that fish can see this line. So they usually sell it in colors that kind of match the surroundings. This I throw my jigs on without any sort of leader or anything like that because I'm always pitching into deep weeded cover, because braided line is strong enough for me to be able to yank any lure out of the weeds or whatever without losing my lure or losing my line. This is really hard to break. That 50 right there, that 50-pound test, means it takes 50 pounds of force to break this line. Good luck. You might be wondering, Jared, what's a leader? A leader is usually a clear line that anglers will tie on to a braided line in order to fool the fish, because a leader is more transparent. The most popular leader material used? Fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon sinks. This is a sinking line. This is really good for your bottom feeding applications like your catfish, your bass when it's colder, Texas rigs, Carolina rigs, jigs, things like that. That's why I have fluorocarbon, and that's why I have such a small spool. Fluorocarbon is virtually invisible underwater, making it an awesome, awesome leader material. But I got one more to show you guys. Fluorocoat by Cast King. This stuff blows my mind. This is a fluorocarbon coated copolymer line. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of exactly what that means, but what I will get into is this is a 15-pound test in about a 10-pound diameter, virtually invisible underwater, with none of the memory issues that monofilament and traditional fluorocarbon tend to have. Memory is this thing that monofilament does. See that? How it just kind of does its own thing. Braid comes out nice and limp. It's more like a string. Even traditional fluorocarbon, as I pull it out of the spool, you can see it's still retaining that shape. The fluorocoat, however, as I pull it out, stays limper than that monofilament or that traditional fluorocarbon and breaks in much, much better. But for you guys starting out, especially with your spinning reels, monofilament's the way to go. Remember to keep it affordable so you don't get frustrated while you're first starting out. Monofilament, best way to go for a spinning reel when you're a new angler. So now, I'm going to show you guys how to spool up a spinning reel, and we're going to wrap up this video. When I reline my reels, there's a certain way that I like to do it. I start with one end of my line, very top line guide right there. Take that end, slip it right through the line guide. And I go down through all these line guides. I'm going to edit this to save some time, because you guys have been here long enough. When you get your line all the way through the line guides, you want to take your bail wire right here, flip it up, and if you can tie your shoes, you can line a reel. Wrap it around the reel like so, and it's a simple overhand knot. Double knot it, and you're done. We call this a tag end. Clip that, and once you have it all clipped, flip your bail. There's a notch right there in the bail, that's where your line sits. I hold my line just a little bit before that last line guide. Just start reeling it in. It should catch. You should be good to go. And before you know it, you're going to be all reeled up and ready to go. And there you go. Now you're all ready to tie on your hooks, your lures, your baits, whatever you're going to do, and you're ready to go fishing. Just to wrap up, you now know how to buy your first rod and what to look for, how to go out and get your first combo, line it up, and start fishing. You guys want to see a follow-up to this video where I show you how to rig different kinds of rigs for different kinds of baits or lures or whatever? Let me know down below in the comments. By all means, I'll do a follow-up video, show you how to cast and get distance, how to set a drag, and all that other good stuff. But now I really want to move on to the giveaway and why I'm giving away a rod and a reel. I know it's not much, as I said earlier, under 20 bucks, but we just hit 100 subscribers. And I can't even tell you what that means to me. I'm beyond thrilled. When I first started this channel, I didn't really expect a modicum of success. And now we're at 100 subscribers. And you fellow YouTubers out there, you know that's a magic number. So I'm happier than I could ever be right now. And I want to get back to you guys. I said it earlier in this video, I've said it before, I wanted to make a channel on YouTube that brought entertainment to fishing. Fishing, info, entertainment, right? And I think we've accomplished that, and there's 102 of you guys out there right now that agree with me. When I said I want to make a channel for people that fish and people that don't fish, people can watch my channel that don't fish and still enjoy it, I'd be honored if I could get just one of you to get out there and try fishing for the first time. So if it's something you've been thinking about, but you can't afford it, all you gotta do is enter my little contest here, and I'll send you a rod and a reel, spooled up, with that 6-pound mono, ready to go. And I wanna do this very, very badly, because I couldn't have done anything that we've done on this channel so far if it wasn't for you guys tuning in and watching us make fools of ourselves every time we go out. So the rules for this contest are going to be very, very simple. Be a visible subscriber to my channel, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and in the comments I want you to tell me how you got started fishing and your favorite fishing memory. You gotta have those two things, because this is all for the fun of fishing, right? And that's why we're all here, and that's why we all do what we do. It's because fishing's fun. So let's keep it fun. I'm going to announce the winners next week, Saturday, the 25th of November, and we'll get you guys your rod and your reel, and I want to see you fishing. Follow me on Instagram too, @RideAlongFishing, because the winner that gets this, I want to see you go out and catch your first fish. More than anything in the world, I want to see you catch your first fish. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I liked making it. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends, go win a rod and reel. And we will catch you next time.